Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We are the Gem Royale, and it's good to have you back on here. Last time we started a conversation, like you all know, and if you don't know, this month is our anniversary month, which is exciting. We're going to be 1 year married. We're going to be 1 year married, and we've been sharing how the journey has been so far, right? Last time we're talking about like some of the marriage shocks and did expectation meet reality. And if you have not seen that video, we'll link it up somewhere. You should go check it out.
I think it's somewhere on there.
yeah. Please go check it out. But you can watch this one to the end first, then go check that one out. Or if you want to pause this one and go watch that one first, whatever you prefer. But you should actually check it out. It's actually very interesting and packed with so many fun and juicy stories, right? So now this is like more like a continuation of where we stopped the last time. And now I think we should actually talk about married life so far, like some of the lessons we've actually learned, how we have been settling into this married life, discovering each other, right? And see how the conversation takes us from there.
Discovering each other and see how the conversation takes us from.
What are you doing?
Don't read meaning to what I said. I just repeated what you said.
So, do you want me to start or do you want to start?
Ladies first.
Of course. So, married life, are there lessons that, there are definitely lessons that we have learned as a couple, or that I have learned being married to him. And the journey so far has been great. Each time I'm grateful to God. Like it just makes me realize, and it just gives me that assured just that confidence that there is no harm that can come from yielding to God, right? There's no harm that can come from waiting for God's will. No matter how long you feel you've waited, once you are in God's will, there's that peace. And one thing I know that this 1 year has been peaceful, not because there has not been ups and downs, not because there's not been things that try to shake our faith or shake not because there has not been situations that came that tried to shake us, but one thing that's been constant is peace. And it just like makes me so happy because I know that God is here, and the fact that God is here makes everything better. Married life has actually been amazing, right? Discovering my husband, like it's been amazing, really. Like sometimes I think about it like you don't know how much you love someone till you're faced with some situations like, gosh, I must really love this man so much, like because sometimes when you make decisions or when you're doing something, like you think about what they want, so you think about how this will affect them, you think about if they will be happy with this. And when that's like becomes the preference to every decision you make or every action you take, I'm like, wow. Because I know that a lot of us like to be selfish. We all like to do things for our own benefit a lot of the times. But when you are now putting the other person first, I feel like even that on its own is the way of Christ, putting others first before yourself. But then you see it being practical, like, and it's not forced, right? It's not like maybe
it's not forced.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not forced. I'm not that duress to put him first. But then it just comes easily, and I want to like consider his own feelings. Like if sometimes even above mine, I'm like, man, I must really love him, right? And it makes me happy. That's the thing. Like it makes me happy that I'm able to treat him that way. That I'm able to consider him in that way, right? And it's actually been interesting discovering him. I've been discovering him more and more each day. And one thing I know is that he's actually a fun person, more fun than I actually thought. To be honest, I thought it was going to be like this serious guy, no nonsense. He had showed a bit of his fun side from why we were prepping to get married, but it just as we got married, it unfolded. I mean, the way it makes me laugh, like
that side is not for everybody. it's not for everybody. It's just for.
And it's interesting because I mean I feel like me I'm someone that before you can make me laugh, I feel like you have to put in a lot of effort. I don't know why, but like it makes me laugh so easily, and I mean that is a plus. And we have so much fun
moments, yeah,
in our marriage, which makes it interesting.
And let me say something. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why I was pointing all of this out was saying this. I mean, people know now that it's not self-glorification. We've been vulnerable with everyone to state while we're doing this.
Yeah.
But as Christians, as believers, and literally anyone, right, you can have a beautiful home. Now, this might sound strange to some, but a good marriage is not a believer's exclusive, right? But as Christians, you should have a beautiful marriage. And it's our desire that many people experience it. It's God's will. It's God's will. I mean, it's God's will that I should be holy. It's also God's will that I should be happy. It's God's will that I should have fun. Fun. You should be happy. Like, fun.
Yeah.
Right? When you're having fun, God is happy. All right? God is happy. There's joy in heaven. Right? There's excitement. There's party. All right? The marriage supper of the Lamb, as seen in Scripture, is described with food and merriment. Right? So it tells you there's merriment, there's excitement. So God wants you to have fun. And it's also a privilege and an experience that comes with a good marriage and a good home, right? So yeah, so that's why I'm sharing some of those things. I want to share some of fun experiences. So
yeah. I
so
mean,
what she said she loves me. Like I love you too, baby.
Something else that I would like to mention is that it is, as people that are married and have at least 1 year of experience, I feel like it is very easy to, this thing of see finish. It is very easy if you're not careful, right? Because you feel like, okay, now you're already married, now you've locked the guy down, you've locked the babe down, and it's very easy to become like too relaxed in trying to put effort into making sure that they are happy, right? I mean, yeah, like the happiness of each other is still important, but so many times, like maybe life challenges or life's responsibilities might start coming into the way, and you feel like mom, prioritize the bond or that relationship a lot less than you used to, like before you got married and when you were all up in their business, right? But I mean, I feel like it takes intentionality to get to a point where, okay, yes, even though all these other things that I'm engaged with now, they are also as important, but I mean, you are also important. Like you should, like our relationship, our bond, making sure that our marriage is healthy. Is
you know why I laughed, right?
Why?
The healthy parts.
Making sure our marriage is healthy is like still top of that list, and it's not like gradually like pushed down to list, because it's very easy to feel like, okay, we are married now, because you discovered that before marriage you put in so much effort into pleasing this person, trying to like show your good side,
catch that babe.
Like you put so much effort into that, and now you feel like, okay, you're married now, like you can relax. But no, like you should still put effort. I feel like there was a time that it seems that, okay, maybe we were going down that path, but we just had to, which is why, like we've said, or like people always say, and people we keep saying, communication is important. Communicate these expectations, and like have like a relationship check. Like just check the status. Is it healthy?
Battery.
Exactly. Is it
full, or
so that you will know, because I feel like when these things happen gradually, it will get to a point where you'll be like, okay, how did we get here, right? Because marriage is not just about it's not just about maybe having children or just living together as a unit. there are things that you need to keep the marriage, like you need to be constantly, you need to prioritize the happiness of your spouse on a daily basis, and that can come in the form of maybe say date nights, or having their time, or playing games, or whatever the case may be. Just prioritizing the time that you both spend together is just as important as you put into maybe your next contract that you are seriously working so hard on. I mean, there are times where you might have that conversation, and we're like, okay babe, this period, like I really need to put all my effort into this. I might not be as available, as in touch as I used to, but at least communicate so that it's expected. It's not like maybe there's just a sudden disconnect and you're like, oh, did I do something wrong? Is something going on, right? So yeah, like I feel like marriage has actually taught me that the fact that we love each other, the fact that we are now married, doesn't mean that we won't continue to work at it, right? We won't continue. Like there's still work to be done on a constant basis, and work from both parties. You still have to keep working at it, sustaining the love that you have built, sustaining the trust that you have built, and all of that, right? It's not that once you enter, you're now relaxed and expect everything to work itself out, right? Do you have anything?
Yeah, I was going to say something, and I'm thankful to God for you, thankful to God for us, and I'm thankful God is in the lives of many people. I also realize that not everyone may have it. They have similar experience like you do. I mean, we've spoken to a lot of people. We get lots of messages in our DMs. People sharing their testimonies and also their experiences, and sometimes some of them make my heart bleed. I'm like, wow, this is really happening. And start to say some of these people are people who love God and all of that, right? Yeah. I mean, we pray with them, counsel them as much as God helps us, and we refer them to spiritual leaders or materials that would also help them get educated and help them with whatever it is, right? But like you rightly said, being married the wedding is not, oh, it's done, right? There's still work to be done after, right? Literally daily, to see that the bond continues, is strengthened, is heightened. All right, being able to identify pitfalls that we can avoid, and one of them you mentioned is familiarity. Like, okay, I think yeah, and also the fact that, oh, I think we are good now, right? I think we didn't anything, and we just go into sleep mode and nothing is happening. There's no activity, nothing to spike up that love once again. Because while the let me say this so I can say it correct today. While the intention of love, right, may be present, the feeling of love may not always be present.
Yeah, true.
Right? Yeah. That's not necessarily a very terrible state, right? But it's good to always keep those butterflies alive, right? It's good to always keep those butterflies alive. The intention of love is critical, right? Yeah, because I know she'll put me first any day, anytime, right? And I also do likewise. But I also need to communicate and say, I know you. that one may just be really the main thing for some people, right? So when I understand what tickles her fancy, I want to try and keep at it, right? And not let it slip. I mean, I told you I love you how many times? We've lost count, actually, right? But we're learning to understand how this works and how it impacts our love life, and we just try to keep it so literal all the time, right? Well, there's pressure of work, pressure to deliver certain KPIs and metrics. You want to do this project, work on this, reach out to these people, be a blessing to us. Especially for some of us in ministry, where there is literally a stretch on your availability, right? They're pulling you left, right, center. There's work to be done. There's this, there's that. People need your attention. There's always that, sometimes one temptation of forgetting that, oh, I'm married, right? There's someone that needs me, right? And one of the things I'm learning to and I try to do is bring my spouse into my own space, and she's doing that likewise, right? Such that they are very much involved in what you're doing, right? Even it makes it easier to feel your presence while you're doing what you're doing. And this
Speaking of this, I feel like there was a time we had that conversation where I felt like I wasn't as connected enough to the things that were going on.
Yeah. And that's a very good one. Probably that was something which I've said in the last video, but I'm glad you raised it. For example, to some degree, I had my things pretty much sorted out, right? For the lack of a better word. I mean, this is how I like to. This was already in process, so to speak, before you came, right? I was like, oh, let me not get involved with these things, like, don't bother yourself with this one. I got this already, right? I got this. I realized that she'll be like, oh, what happened? I'll be like, it's just this, like, don't bother yourself about it. But then I realized that there was that disconnect, and it could mean, does this person trust me now? Does this person think I'm sufficient? Does this person, right? So what I learned to do was say, oh, this person called, check out the conversation. Oh, this is what I told them. I'm like, oh, that's great, right? Oh, I did this. What do you think, right? Oh, how should I respond to this, right? By doing so, it got her more involved into literally some of the things I do, and she's not in the dark as to, oh, what's going on with this person, what's going on with that, what's going on with this, right? My intention initially were simple, like, let me not stress you, let me not bug you, but it could be interpreted as, this person does not trust me enough.
I mean, I feel like there was that disconnect on my end. I felt like it wasn't carrying me along enough. Like, is it that it doesn't want me to know, or does it feel like maybe I don't have anything useful to contribute?
And I was like, don't stress you, like, I've got this.
But and I remember I communicated that with you.
No, I think we're always communicating, right? Like I said, I have multiple blind spots, but you always raise and say, babe, what about this?
And the fact that you know that it doesn't even improve is because I never even remember. I don't even remember that was even like a thing before. So it shows that you've improved.
Right, so you're learning. Like I said, we've not perfected it. We're not coming here to teach you marriage. We don't know.
We're just like, I mean, this channel has always been to share our experiences as we as we journey on this path, the things that we learn, maybe if there are mistakes that we've made that we now know better to.
Exactly.
So it's a journey, and as much as we know, as much as we learn, we are always here to share and communicate that with you. So what else?
So I mean, sharing that experience, carrying along, putting in my space, getting involved, helped us build that connection, right? So even when I'm doing these things, I'm not doing it in isolation. I'm like, one thought that came around, like, why did I even marry you when I cannot get? Please carry. You get, like, why? Why, if I'm doing all of this by myself, then what's the point of this, right? So why separate them? So the idea was to get you involved. Even if with time, right, you would gain more understanding. You just let her handle it, right? So my point was, I think I've built this to a point. Not stress you, don't worry.
Like, it felt like such a big deal to not start maybe narrating all the details, because maybe this is something that's been happening for a very long time. So many things that have happened. I will need like lots of context to be able to catch up to this point. But like, it was still very important to me. So
I learned just gradually. Like, okay, no, I think we are good. Like I said, I didn't even remember that was a thing.
Yeah.
So as believers, we can have beautiful marriages. As I was going to say something earlier, I think. So there was this idea that this brother was spirit cocoa. It was like all Bible. I think some people feared for the lady I was going to marry. I believe so, because I was all too serious. I didn't smile. You're a sister or a lady. How you doing? God bless you. That was the vibe I was giving everybody. The first guy was too hard. I pity lady I'm marrying. Oh my God. You realize that marriage is between a finished man and a lovely wife. Alright, so that was a side of me, I think, that this was a side of me that I didn't open up to many people, right? Oftentimes, most of these people are truly soft at heart. But also, I needed to unlearn lots of things, right? To become the person that I'm becoming right now, right? Because I don't think my heart would have opened up to you if I was still exactly that kind of person, right? I'm like, don't go marry a fine lady, Manji. You know those stories in here? Like, all right. But But over time, being able to balance your faith in God, and you see, some people that are spiritual in court, and I say this because I've also been in that phase, is sometimes insecurity or lack of social skills.
Okay.
Right, and this is not to attack anyone. I'm just saying because maybe I lacked certain social skills. I didn't know how to relate to people, so I was like, this is just how to project my insecurity. How to keep myself safe from every trouble and all of that, right? But I realized I can't carry that again into marriage. I was reading a post by one of my friends. See, in marriage, you're not my spiritual daughter. He said, your wife is not your spiritual daughter. She's not your mentee. All right? Wife. She's not your daughter in the Lord. She's your wife. And that's very important, right? For some of us who are like, oh, we love God, we want to do this for God. Any lady that come marry, you don't take your wife into as a disciple. How are you doing? Hope you are good. Realize that it's not so. And some ladies suffer in that regard, especially for people who are in this space or this field. They suffer because these people see them as, oh, spiritual daughter, how are you doing? God bless you. Oh, no. Like, no, this is your wife, right? They find it difficult to separate. And is from observation, people have spoken with, it's a problem some people face, right? That means to separate and say, okay, see, I'm a man of God, we know, but yeah, I'm a man, all right? In church, if you see me ministry, you'll be like, this is in person, right? But yeah, I'm just gisting with you guys. This is my wife. And sometimes let me use the term, man of God-ish projects. I'm like, just gist, just play, just laugh.
Yeah, I get to see, like, in quote, maybe some silly sides. Because there's something that like, hey,
are you still a brother?
And I feel like it's interesting to see all these different, many personalities, like maybe not personalities, just different sides to him, right? And it has been fun. So can we talk about how we handle offenses?
Yes, good. So it's sweet and rosy. It doesn't imply that there are not certain things that get to us and be like, right? It doesn't mean there's no offense. But I remember one of the things I told you is the fact that I'm forgiving you in advance, right? There's nothing you do because we're in this together, right? And I've said this before that marriage is God's development program. When God wants to help you in certain regard, He tells you to get married, right? Because He wants to help you and you realize that one way to be helped is to bring someone into your space.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Adam's helper is literally, right? There was a problem. I was like, we need to solve this problem. He didn't give us advanced Adam. He brought another person, right? Technically, in the case of the woman, which maybe is the advanced, right? What I meant is he upgraded Adam and said, okay, Adam, you just one screw that was faulty, right? And I just say, okay, I'll just upgrade your software, Adam, right? He just brought another person. So, when God wants to help you, He introduces someone into your life, and how do we handle offenses? Like I said before, there is no offense too big, right? And thanks to the beauty of communicating and expressing, like, okay, I didn't really like that. That was not so cool, right? As simple as that, as clearly stating, okay, I was not really happy with that, right? And because we love each other, we want this to work. We're quick to be like, oh really? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not gonna happen again. I'll learn. I'll make adjustments, right? And that's literally the end of it, right? Learn something from Pastor Kingsley Okoko. He said something. He said it's not just how you love; it's also how you fight, right? The goal of communicating this dissatisfaction is not to stretch it. It's not out of hate, right? It's out of the fact that, oh, this is affecting me in a way I don't like, right? And it can happen to anybody. We are humans, right? This is affecting me. I don't really like. I love you so much. I don't want this to escalate. I don't want this to separate us. Because you realize that someone might have done something to you before, maybe a friend, and you're like, okay, sorry, we literally can't be friends anymore, right? But you want this to work, so you're like, oh, this is it. I didn't really feel so good about that, right? That didn't.
Yeah,
And
if
sometimes you
I'm
need further explanation.
okay.
The person might not even mean it. The person might not even know.
Yeah.
But I'll be saying, "Oh, big get." I'm like, me. My family. I feel I'm saying that's another item to do, but just coming out and say, "Oh, that didn't sit well with me." Right? I didn't really like that. I didn't feel comfortable when you said that. As simple as that. It's like, "Oh, really? I'm sorry. Really. I mean, with all sincerity, and you can tell when someone is sincere. Often, you can tell when someone is sincere. I'll be like, okay, no problem, and just move on. Sometimes you might even have forgiven the person and be like, okay, she didn't mean it. The next time I come and say, oh, you know that thing you said 2 weeks ago, I wasn't really happy about it. But you're saying it so the person can take correction or the person can learn, right? And it's both ways. I know some very powerful men find it difficult to take correction, relatively always communicated, right? As much as God helps us. Like I said, the reason why we need people like this is because we are not perfect, right? I want to learn, want to grow, want to be better, right? And that's why you must choose spouse wisely. You must choose someone who is sufficient for you, who is suitable for you, who is fit for you, who you know I can receive correction from.
Yeah.
Who I know I can receive correction from. Who I love so much who I believe in his opinion on certain subjects, right? Yeah. So I'm not seeing you as less than myself, right? I'm seeing you as a co-heir.
Like if I'm to add something when it comes to handling offenses, I think one thing that is important, at least for us, is that, I mean, like you said, communication. And also not assuming that the person knows that he has offended you. Like, you need to say it, like, oh babe, like, I was not really happy with what you did. And one thing with us is that we are always quick to acknowledge that this person has been hurt by what we did and apologize if there needs to be.
Do you know what? Sorry to interrupt. Did I interrupt you? I'm sorry, but you said something I think is very interesting. Acknowledge that this person is hurt by it.
Yeah.
But just trying to say, it's nothing now. It's because I said this. It's not. No.
Yeah.
The person is hurt by it. The person is hurt by it. It doesn't have to even make sense in your head. The person is hurt by it. It's like, really, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I actually do appreciate about it. When maybe I'm upset about something and I communicate about it to him, sorry is not hard for him to say. He's always quick to apologize, and it does not just stop at apologizing. He always goes further and makes a joke out of what I was upset about.
So that's one coping
and in that moment, like, I can't help it, I would now laugh. So like, even if I was still holding on to a bit of upset, like at that point, like, I'm already laughing.
Making it joke. Remember I said something about LV. When you said LV was something I was like, so LV became a thing, right? So if there's a point we notice, okay, this was wrong, or you're upset about this. For example, maybe dishes, right? The next couple of days, dishes will not rest.
Anyway,
in a movie we see dishes, we're like, babe,
dishes.
Anywhere we go, in church, someone's making dishes, we say.
And I feel like that for me has helped in that, okay, so even if I want to maybe reflect back on, and that's how I did that, it's not hard. Like, I can't even be upset about it at all. We've like had so many moments of laughing and just random jokes over the thing that was once like an issue of offense. So I feel like that's one thing that has been really helping us when it comes to how we handle offenses. And I mean
people are different, they handle them differently, but this is just how we
like, and
we make it fun.
It works for us. Yeah. I mean, and most times the one that's always making it, like, sometimes I wonder, like, this man, how does he come up with all these?
It just happens, like.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, that has been good. So I mean, when it comes to offenses, we just make sure to communicate that we are offended or we're upset about something, and we communicate, and our partner rather says, like, apologizes, right? Or if there's need to explain maybe the intentions, maybe it was like in case of misunderstanding, that explanation is done and we get proper clarity on the whole situation. And sometimes besides offenses, there's sometimes maybe we are just maybe just not in a good mood, right? Like maybe just something, and it's not because you are directly upset at your partner. And sometimes that can also affect how you relate, because it's not like you're upset with him, but you're just in a bad mood for some reason. It's also nice when they observe that, it seems like something is up, and then they show concern and try to make things better, rather than just be oblivious to the fact that you are there sulking over whatever reason that it might be.
Is it just that smart? I want to say something here too. I know we reference scripture that says, let not the sun go down your wrath. All right, and let's create a scenario. All right, and this is what I'm trying to address: the ideology that don't go to bed with offense if something is wrong. While I appreciate that. That context and that scenario, right? The goal should be to resolve it, and sometimes people process these things differently, right? Depending on the magnitude of the issue, people process these things differently. Some immediately they are cool. Some needs to take time to really process what just happened, and it can go overnight. It can take 2 days for some. Right. While I encourage that, just go right, there's nothing, right? Depending on the kind of relationship, some people may need time.
Well, I guess that might be on maybe what the offense is for the kind of maybe offense that we've had. I don't think it's something that needed that time. I mean, sometimes maybe if it happens and maybe I've not communicated it and I'm still waiting. I did not observe that I'm upset, and it's not observing. Sometimes when I'm on the bed, I say, Messi, you cannot sleep off like this. So you need to at least tell him that you're upset. Let him know that you're not upset.
That's a good metric. That's a good.
So that's what I do. I feel like I cannot sleep off and still be vexing that, and yet he doesn't even know that I'm upset. Because if he asks me, because my face is expressive, I think. So if I'm upset about something, he would definitely know. And if you ask me, babe, are you okay? I'll say, yeah, I'm fine. But
that's not correct.
I'll say, yeah, I'm okay. But then, like, the energy is not there. If you ask 1 or 2 times, sometimes he will just rest, like, we might not probe further. I'm like, but he's not going to ask me again. So while I'm still there,
see off.
While I'm still there thinking about the fact that I'm so upset, and this one is just living his life, is laughing, he's even laughing beside me, pressing his phone. Like at that point, maybe if it's already getting late, I was like, gosh, I can't sleep off like this. So I can't take this thing like to the next
That's
day.
a good bar.
And so at that point, because I don't want to, because that verse rings in my brain, like, don't let your offenses. I mean, it's not like this is something that I know if I talk about it will be resolved, but then maybe because of pride rather, I'm like, shouldn't you know that I'm upset? But then at that point I would have to communicate it, and when he says I want to say sorry, all the pent up anger just dissolves, and I'm like, why was I suffering myself all the while?
Simple thing.
But yeah, that's it, Sha. Is there any other thing else that we are missing out?
I mean, there's another thing, we'll probably communicate it some way in another video, but
I mean,
this is just us gisting and sharing our experiences so far. It's been fun. I mean, we've traveled to different countries.
We've had like very fun adventures.
And share that subsequently.
Yeah, we could. Like we've had good times, and like one thing that's, I mean, speaking of one that's just making me think about now is that as we grow in marriage, as we grow in relationship, I mean, it's easy to maybe get to a stage where you feel like, you figured it out, like, but then you discover that there are some experiences that might come your way that you probably have not experienced together, and you have not like seen how each other's reaction to this particular situation, and you discover that, but I thought I knew this person. Why is it happening? So I feel like there's still, even as we grow, as we mature in this journey, there's still the importance of having an open mind to let God guide us as we go, and just to know that it's not necessarily get to that point where you feel like, okay, you've figured it out. So you should be always willing to learn, be willing to adjust where necessary, because each situation is peculiar to itself and might require like a different approach than you're probably used to. And that's one thing I've learned, because in this first year of marriage, we've had like varying circumstances that have not like been totally consistent. That's not been totally consistent, and so like it's just been testing our devotion and loyalty to each other through these varying circumstances. And it's just like, I mean, one thing is important, and I feel like that mindset helps to navigate whatever situation that we come across, is that knowing that we are one, we are on the same team, and whatever it is that we are going through it together. And so that idea of being on the same team rather, helps. The idea of like, okay, no matter the situation, like, I love this man, I respect him and honor him. There should not be any situation where this honor and this respect should come into the picture, if that makes any sense. And so like, we are in this together, we are on this journey together, and we are both learning together, so none of us have it figured out. And I think that helps, that okay, when the situation comes, we try to figure out a way to go through it as a team, and not maybe feeling like the other person is the opponent or whatever the case may be. So I feel like, yeah, that's just not feeling like we figured it out, because we have definitely not figured it all out. And I feel like even as we grow older, like, we are still going to be figuring out a lot things
more.
And even then, we have still figured some things out, and it's interesting to know that okay, I know this man to a certain extent, and I don't know
how you think my thoughts. I don't know how. Sometimes I just feel, what other new thing do I need to shoot? Like,
yeah, like sometimes even when he tries to play pranks, his prank does not prank anymore. It's that beginning time that I'll be like, but even that beginning time, I have
new pranks, so don't worry, I'll still bring them out.
Well, let's see. But then I know when you have played a prank.
You think you know?
I do know.
You think you know?
But I mean, that aside, like, it's interesting to get to a point where, okay, I mean, you are getting a hand of this. Like, okay, I feel like, I mean, we're in a good place, we are handling this well. But just know that when things come, you just need to, it might maybe take to readjusting some set standards or some set ways that you have been following, just so that you can adjust perfectly.
Flexibility and adaptation.
Yeah,
it's just important. Another thing I think you mentioned, maybe I'll just like to touch point on it while we draw curtain here. Okay. Is the fact that you should have certain metrics you use to measure your relationship battery, right? To know, are we doing well, your relationship health?
Yeah.
Are we doing well? Or in this, for example, we spoke about in the last video how we use the love language as a metric to know how are we communicating. Am I meeting your expectations in certain regards? And these are practical examples, right? Looking at certain things, like, maybe I'm not giving you so much time. I'm not showing the necessary attention or affection. The way, like you said, the way you want to be loved. Because, for example, I'm doing everything right now. I called, I did this, I did that, I bought this. He's not spending time on me. What else do you understand, right?
Yes.
So he's learning to understand that, I'm not doing this, I need to start doing this, right? So it's that willingness to even grow, to be better, to try to please you as you do likewise. It's just a beautiful experience, right?
Yeah. So I guess that's it for this video. We've said a lot.
I think a lot.
Yeah.
The plan was not to say this much.
I mean, we just kept going on and on and on and on. But I mean, I feel like there's even some things that we're probably not remembering, but I feel like that we have said is good enough, and we hope you found value. You've learned a thing or two from our own experiences, of the things that we've shared.
And if you'd like to share, do also put in the comments.
Yes, if you have questions too,
please do ask questions. We appreciate questions. We get lots of questions in our DMs, and we respond to them. Please, if you got questions, you could even make a video and just respond to some of those questions publicly.
Yeah, maybe have a live session.
Oh, maybe we should just do that.
What do you guys think about a live session?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Maybe we just go live and we just have like an interactive session talking to you guys, right? Just sharing. Beautiful to see. And if you've not subscribed,
be cool, subscribe.
I'm not even going to beg them.
Beg them.
Me.
Please, I'll beg you guys. Please subscribe to the channel.
Just click on the subscribe button. Please kindly go on to like, share, subscribe, comment, and also watch the other video that we put up here. Somewhere like there. Alright, do also watch it. I think you also get to learn. And feel free to also share with friends and families. Alright. Thank you so much. My name is George once again, and here with me is my lovely wife.
Messi.
And we are
the GEM Real.